My time in China has taught me to not be afraid of new things. They may seem scary and unnatural at times, but as Albert Einstein once said, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. I made a lot of mistakes while abroad. I got lost and even a few tummy aches, but I learned from every single one. The fear of the unknown was the most apparent fear in my mind as I crossed the Pacific. I was afraid that my lack of the understanding of the Chinese language would hinder my time in Beijing, and my fear of overstepping cultural boundaries all made my palms sweat as I stared at the clouds below. Or is that my fear of heights? Connecting with students outside the classroom was where I learned more about who I am as a person, a teacher, and about the Chinese culture than anywhere else. I spent a lot of my afternoons eating lunch with my students and exchanging questions ranging from politics to pop culture. These exchanges were not only fun for both the students and myself, but also gave me a perspective on Chinese life that they can't teach from a textbook. My students also benefited because spending time with me taught them more about the culture they will soon be immersed into following their graduation from Beijing Royal School. I taught them American idioms, English vocabulary, and my favorite lesson, American football on Thanksgiving Day. These conversations with my students made my classroom more welcoming to questions and student involvement. Pre-calculus is already one of the most difficult concepts in high school mathematics to teach. Add a language barrier the size of the Great Wall on top of that, and you've got a recipe for disaster. I found that I needed a different kind of patience when teaching vocabulary and content-rich lessons. Students needed more time to digest the meaning of words, as well as the mathematical concept. Students in China had a hard time thinking outside the box and engaging in lessons that were not lecture-based. This posed a challenge to me because students in the US are always looking forward to fun and creative lessons. However, in China, whenever a lesson that was not lecture-based, such as the human transformations, singing a mathematical song, or even a review game, students would seem unsure about participating and it would take them a few minutes to get comfortable. At the end of my time in China, the students told me how much they both enjoyed and learned from these interactive lessons. The most impactful lessons of life come to us in many different ways. They may manifest as you walk through historic Beijing hutongs with your mentor as he explains to you the struggles and challenges of being a teacher in China, and unbeknownst to him inspire you to want to change the way education is valued in the world. Or they may come to you as you're racing down a soccer field barefoot at sunset, laughing and playing soccer with children who are full of potential, promise, and hope. This experience has taught me that wherever along the walk of life a lesson may find you, be ready, be open, and willing to learn.